is about a small tailor who goes on a journey to prove his bravery. One day, he buys some jam from an old lady who is passing by and is attracted to its delicious taste, killing 7 flies with one blow. Proud of his bravery, he embroidered the words 7 in one blow on his belt and set out on his journey. His strength is tested by a giant man he meets on his way, but he overcomes the man's strength by squeezing his cheese and releasing water, continuing to prove his own wisdom and bravery. "But the stone has fallen to the ground," said the tailor, "and the stone I throw now will never return." Then he took a bird out of his pocket and threw it into the air. The bird broke free and flew into the sky. Then it flew away and never came back. "Is that okay, brother?" asked the tailor. "That's a bit of a stretch," replied the giant. "But next time, let's see if you are really strong." Then the giant led the tailor to a large oak tree that was lying on the ground. "If you are really strong," he invited, "help me and carry this tree out of the forest." "Of course," answered the tailor. "Then you hold the trunk, and I will hold the bough, for this is the most laborious work." Hearing this, the giant man lifted up the trunk. But the tailor got on the bough, and the giant man could not look back, so he had to carry the whole big tree and even the tailor with him. The tailor rode behind the big man, looking very happy and whistling as if carrying wood was a child's play. The big man dragged his heavy load along for a while, but finally, when he could go no further, he cried out, "Let's bring down the tree." The tailor quickly jumped down and hugged the tree with his arms. Then, with a look on his face that he had always carried, he said to the giant man, "You're so big, but can't you carry a tree like this?" The two continued to walk together after that. Eventually, I passed by a cherry tree. The giant man grabbed the top of the tree with the ripe cherries, pulled it down, and told the tailor to eat the cherries. However, the small tailor did not have the strength to hold down the tree. So when the giant let go of his hand, the tree bent back and the tailor was blown into the sky with it. Still, the tailor fell without a single injury. "What, you don't have the strength to hold down such a thin branch?" said the giant. "You must be without strength," said the tailor. "You, the man who killed 7 things with one shot, do you think this is difficult? I just jumped over a tree while the hunter was firing a gun below. You, if you can, imitate me and fly." The giant tried, but he could not jump over the tree and got caught in a branch. So, once again, the tailor won. "If you are such a strong man," said the big man, "you should come with me to our cave and spend the night there." The tailor followed the giant man, as if he had been waiting. When they arrived at the cave, they found other big men sitting by the fire, each holding a roasted sheep in their hands and munching away. The tailor looked around and thought, "This is much bigger than my workplace." The giant man from earlier set out a bed for the tailor and told him to crawl inside and sleep peacefully. But the bed was too big for the little tailor. So the tailor did not go inside, but went into a corner and slept. About midnight, the giant thought that the tailor was already fast asleep. So the giant got up quietly, grabbed a large iron rod, and struck it against one of the beds on which the tailor was sleeping. And with this, I thought I had put an end to that little grasshopper-like creature. Early in the morning, the giants went to the forest and forgot about the tailor. But the tailor appeared alive and well, and the giants were astonished and fled, fearing that he would strike them all down. The tailor walked in the direction of his nose and entered the garden of a certain king's castle. Tired, I laid down on the grass and fell asleep. In the meantime, the people of the castle came and found him, and read the belt that read, 7 in one stroke. Everyone said, "I wonder what this strong man will do in times of peace." Everyone thought, "He must be a great samurai." The king was informed and advised that it was best not to let him go at all costs, as he would be of great help once the war broke out. The king heard this and agreed. And when the tailor awoke, he sent a messenger to invite him to become a samurai and serve the king. The messenger stood by the tailor and waited for him to wake up. When the tailor woke up, the messenger brought him a message from the king. "That is why I have come here," replied the tailor, "and I am always happy to serve the king." Tailors were respected and given a special home. However, the other samurai thought that the tailor was a nuisance and thought, "I wish I could go somewhere far away." Everyone thought, "If we start a fight with him, he will kill 7 people with one blow. That's no way to win." So they all made up their minds and went before the king and told him they were quitting. Everyone said, "I can't be with a man who can kill 7 people with one blow." The king was sad to lose all his loyal servants to one person. The king thought, "I wish I had never seen this man. If possible, I would like to dismiss him. But the king did not have the courage to take the plunge. For, if he were to do such a thing, he was afraid that this man might kill the king, along with his servants, and take the throne in his stead. After thinking for a long time, the king finally came up with a good solution. So I sent a messenger to the tailor and had him say this. Seeing that you are one of the most powerful people in the world, I would like to ask you a favor. Actually, there are two big men living in the forest of this country, who steal things and kill people. They light fires, and they do nothing but terrible evil. Anything that gets close to these men is in danger. If you defeat and kill these two big men, you will take the king's only daughter as your wife. I will give you half the country as a dowry. I will also send 100 knights on horseback to help you. This is a rewarding job for a guy like me, thought the tailor to himself. Having a beautiful princess and half the country isn't such an easy task. So the tailor replied, "That's fine. I'll definitely defeat the big men and see them. I don't need 100 knights. 2 is not enough for a man who can defeat 7 in one blow." The little tailor ran away. 100 knights followed him on horseback. When the tailor reached the edge of the forest, he said to his companions, "Okay, just wait here. I'll make sure to take care of the big boys by myself." Then the tailor jumped into the forest and looked to the right and to the left. After a while, 2 large men caught my eye. The big men are lying down and sleeping under a certain tree. However, due to his loud snoring, the branches of the tree are shaking up and down. When the tailor saw this, he quickly stuffed both his pockets with stones and climbed up the tree. He climbed halfway up the tree, and then, following a bough, he came just above the sleeping giants and said, "Hush, hush," said the tailor. "It won't be so easy." The tailor waited patiently. As the beast approached, he dodged it and went behind the tree. The unicorn slammed into the tree with such force that its horn became stuck in the trunk. Then, without the strength to pull it out, he was captured alive. "Well, I caught a little bird," said the tailor, and put a rope around his neck and pulled out his horn. He pulled the beast away and brought it to the king. The king did not intend to reward him yet. His third order was that he should catch a boar. "It's fine," replied the tailor. "That's like playing tricks on children." The tailor did not take the hunters. The hunters had suffered a lot because of the boar, so they didn't want to chase it. The boar attacked the tailor, but he jumped into the chapel and jumped out the window. The boar went wild inside, but he was unable to get out the window and was eventually captured alive. The tailor showed the animal to the hunters and brought it to the king. The king had to keep his promise, and he gave the tailor his daughter and half the kingdom. If the king found out that the tailor was just a tailor, he would be mortified. The wedding took place, but it was not celebrated. A king was born from a tailor. After a while, the queen heard her husband saying something in her dream. She said, "Make me a jacket. Then make me some pants, or I'll hit you." When the queen heard this, she learned that her husband was her tailor. And she talked about her troubles. The king tried to trap the tailor, but the sword bearer informed him of his plan. The tailor went into the bedroom with the queen. The queen lay down on her bed after the tailor had gone to bed. The tailor was just pretending to be asleep when she suddenly spoke up. "Make me a jacket. Then make me some pants, or I'll hit you." When the people heard the tailor's words, they became frightened and ran away. The tailor lived his whole life as a king.